Good morning, everyone. And first of all, thank you for coming, and thanks for giving me this opportunity to speak about the cybersecurity issues. And in a script I got, they asked me to start about the very early age of cybersecurity. And that's kind of tricky because all that started about 40 years ago in 1980s. And I remember those times. And I think that I'm from a very happy generation because I remember the time before internet. Yeah? No internet, no chats, no smartphones, floppy disks. Do you remember the floppy disks? And the telephones, the old telephones, like yes, that was that time before the internet. And the cyber technologies, the IT systems, they were like some strange, some very new and not everywhere. And those times there were cybersecurity issues that didn't exist. From time to time there were some computer viruses, the script kiddies for writing that just for fun. And all that changed. Now the cyber technologies, they're everywhere. They are in the pockets. They are in the air, they're in the power grid, in transportation, the autonomous trams in the city. So the cyber technologies, they are very important. It's still less important than oxygen, but close to that. We can't live without cyber anymore. And cybersecurity issues, they were rising as well. Now we're facing highly professional cybercrime, cyber espionage, and cyber sabotage. Speaking about the size, their numbers, well, every day my company collects about 500,000 new unique malicious files. Every day, 500,000 new malware, which we didn't see before. I'm here in Dubai for 3 days. So within these 3 days, my team will have 1.5 million of new malicious stuff every day. And this is a global problem. So we can't point a finger who is responsible for that. We can detect the language they speak. Because they leave there some text strings, we see the localization of their malicious files. And they speak all the languages. They're mostly Chinese, simplified Chinese, Russian, broken English, Spanish and Portuguese, mostly from Latin America. It's a global problem, but we can handle that. We do the automatic systems, how to protect our customers. We collect it automatically, we process it automatically, so that's not a problem. The problem is that many of the young low and mid-level criminals, they are getting smarter. They learn, they exchange information, they trade information, the technologies, they use AI. Yes, they are smart as well. And they are joining the highly professional criminal gangs. And they are able to develop highly complicated attacks, which is very hard to protect from. That's why we see so many cybersecurity issues with the big enterprises which have enough of budgets to invest into the cybersecurity. So we are facing the highly professional criminal gangs which are responsible not just for cybercrime, but also for cyber sabotage. And in many cases, it's very hard to find the border, to see the border. Is it cybercrime or is it cyber sabotage? Because they do both. They steal the information, they want your money, but at the same time, if they fail, they just damage your system. And at the same time, we see their state-sponsored espionage tools more and more and more. And unfortunately, we see that the cybersecurity issues, they're rising to one of the top problems which businesses and governments face at the moment. And what to do? There are three major points we need to pay attention. First of all, technologies. Second, people. And third, government regulation and cooperation. So, technologies. Cybersecurity is good enough to protect the IT systems until it comes to critical infrastructure. When it's about critical infrastructure, power grid, power plants, transportation, medical systems, cybersecurity doesn't fix the problem. It guarantees you better security, but not 100%. And in these systems, we need to have 100% security. It's not possible. So it's time to change the mind, and it's time to switch to security by design, or I call it cyber immunity, to develop the systems which are unhackable, which we can guarantee that the successful attack on cyber immune system costs more than possible damage. Just the economy. My definition of cyber immunity is the system is cyber immune if the cost of attack is more than possible damage. Negative return on investment. So the system is cyber immune. Is it possible to do, to develop, to design such a systems? I think yes. And if you come to my city, to Moscow, and if you see the autonomous trams in my city, there's a label on that. Most of them, they have the driver. But some of them, they're autonomous in the test mode, not for passengers at the moment. So they use the systems which are unhackable. I hope so. And I can prove, well, I don't hope, I know, and I can prove. So we can design the systems which are unhackable and which we can trust. Second, people. There's still not enough of engineers. We still need more and more talents. Because to protect from the highly professional criminal attacks or espionage or cyber sabotage, we need not just technologies and products, we need people to operate with that. So invest into education. So I speak about this every time when I have opportunity. We need more talents, and we can help. We have the education system, we have the trainings to grow the new talents. And government. What is the government role? I guess there are two major things to do. First of all, law enforcement, cyber police, cooperation. And we have a very long experience in cooperating with cyber police in very different nations. We're a strategic partner for Interpol, and we have many cases when there was successful investigation and the bad guys were arrested. So please pay attention to this issue as well. So we need to have more strong cooperation between cyber police, the national cyber police forces, and international bodies. Then the government role is, of course, regulation. How to regulate the cyberspace. This is, again, this is a multinational issue, and well, I have just a few time, not enough of time to speak about that, but just want to highlight this point. And then many governments, nations, they're facing their very interesting issues. You want to keep the data, the critical infrastructure, critical data in-house, first of all, and it's not possible to keep everything in-house, so we need to use the global services, where in the internet, it's a cyberspace, which doesn't have borders. So how to find the balance? Which data, which IT systems must stay in-house within national borders or in the region, and what we allow to be global. So that's a different issue, and this is one of the main factors, main things, the questions, which many nations, not just EU, not just in the Middle East, in many different countries, where I travel, when I talk to people, facing the same questions. So, in short, the IT systems, they're still less important than oxygen, but close to that. Cybersecurity issues, they're rising, and unfortunately we're facing, they are very complicated, more and more professional cyber attacks, criminal, cyber sabotage, and espionage. And we need to raise the questions about the technologies, about design of the new systems, cyber immunity. Second, education, investing into people. And third, the government role in the cyberspace. Regulation, finding the balance, what stay in the house, what you can live in the cyberspace. And, well, the world is getting more and more crazy, more complicated, but I'm still optimistic. We will survive. Thank you.